Hey everybody, this is Ben with BRG Music. I'm going to do a quick video on improv over scales or over chords. Using the scales and modes we've learned, I'm going to kind of real quick talk about a little backstory here. When I was younger, I grew up, in a really small town. I didn't have many buddies who played. I didn't actually have any buddies who played. And then I was around a lot. I think there's another kid in school that played, and we just didn't get on, for whatever reason, because I was a dick to him when I was younger. But anyway, some of these ideas I came up with just because I needed to. But they're handy, and I'm going to show you one way to do it. I'm going to show you another way. What I did when I was a kid, there were backing tracks and CDs and stuff available, but they got kind of boring to do, to solo over, because I didn't write the backing rhythm track. I wanted to do my own thing, choose my own ideas and see how it worked. What I would do is basically just use droning notes, the lowest three strings on the guitar, to imply chords, and then use the top three strings as like a melodic device, little scale fragments and stuff to write ideas. So one I always like to do is A, E, D, A, because it's like an A minor, A major, 1, 4, 5 type progression, and it was kind of simple, but I'm going to do a couple different examples here and show you what I mean. A minor was like my home base when I was a kid. I loved it. I learned to play that way because I learned the A minor pentatonic scale like early on, and then Yngwie Malmsteen, A minor, A harmonic minor, and of course a lot of Maiden and stuff like that. But here's like a real quick idea, kind of using that idea. Whatever, those kinds of things. So I used to do that a lot. And then just to change it up, you could retune your guitar. I'd retune the lowest three strings to try different things, like hit a C or something else, and just mix it up, like a G or a C and a D, whatever you feel like doing, and you change the keys and do the same thing and see how they sound. Experiment outside of your comfort zone. A lot of us play like one key and get real comfortable there. It's good to move on and try keys that are unfamiliar and kind of out of our comfort zone. I'll do the same thing, the same progression, but I'll use like an A major type idea, which would also be F sharp minor. I was kind of playing right in this this A minor thing here from the like 4, 5, 7, 5, 6, 8, 5, 7, 8 on the top three strings. I'll do the same shape, but down here at the first, second, and fourth fret. And when I play that against those chords, you're going to hear the difference. Completely different sound. Same three notes, A, E, and D, just kind of droning over the top, but where you play makes all the difference. You don't hear the chord when I play it because I'm not playing the chords, but when I play the scale, the chord becomes implied, and you understand as a listener that's what's happening. Now that was cool, and I used to do that a lot, but I found when I did it with distortion, it sucked because the notes, like, they just, the distorted notes, they just kill each other. It's not a cool thing unless you're looking for nasty overtone. I remember watching Yngwie Malmsteen on a quick snippet, doing some quick, like his typical like lead stuff in a solo spot, and the keyboards that I heard were changing pretty on spot where he was changing, actually really on spot when he changed. And I thought he was really tight with Mr. Johansson on the keys, who's a great keyboard player. If you haven't listened to Jens Johansson, you have to. But I thought they were doing it together, and I realized, I found out later actually that he was using Moog Taurus bass pedals to play keyboards with his feet, and then he could control the implied chords and solo over those, which was really cool. Geddy Lee also used a similar device for some of the Rush stuff. If you wanted to play bass and play keyboards, he could play his bass and run the keyboard with his feet and sing. It's pretty sick. All credit to that guy. Anyway, so I've got basically it's a 1-octave keyboard here. It's called a MIDI step, and it's just a controller. I got it at a garage sale of all places, and I didn't pay that much for it. I'll show it to you real quick. That guy. See that on the dirty floor there? Yeah, that guy. Yeah, so I got him. Get that out of the way. Got him at a garage sale, and realized it wasn't something I could just plug into the PA and play. So I got like a little synth brain. I didn't pay too much for it, but it kind of helped me get something going. And I gigged with it a couple times. It became to where it was like, I just didn't like lugging it around for some gigs that, especially in the local clubs in Des Moines, don't pay anything. Your whole band goes and plays and you get $30 because, you got to pay the sound guy. Anyway, that's another issue. Anyway, I just stopped lugging it around, and it's been kind of sitting for a while, but I thought it'd be time to break it out again and do some stuff with it. And I'm just going to do the same thing I did, A, E, and D, but using the MIDI step instead of my guitar and some distorted tones to do the same kind of thing. So I'm going to kick this on the hold here, and oh, we got to turn on the transactive wireless I'm plugged into. There we go. Now we'll get sound. Right? Kind of fun. A really cool kind of thing to do. Now that was A minor, which I was super comfortable with. And like I said earlier, you could try A major and you're not going to have any issues. It'll sound really cool. I had an F there. See, that's one of the tricks. One of the pitfalls of playing keyboards with your feet sitting down is you can't exactly control it very comfortably. So I'm going to try that again. Like that. So it's same kind of idea. And you could do different scales like we talked about. In my other videos I've covered the major scales, and all their modes, which includes the minor scales. Harmonic minor, Hungarian minor, the Japanese scales, the regular pentatonic scales we're used to, and do the same kind of thing, harmonic minor also, you know, that's a lot of fun. I used to do this all the time because I love harmonic minor. Cool thing about harmonic minor, when you play the E, because harmonic minor has a G in the key of A, it has a G sharp. Key of A minor has a G sharp. When you hit the E and you hit the G sharp together, the chord's implied E major, which is really cool. Like when I played this. Actually kind of makes the whole thing sound like you're playing the major chords if you just stay right there. But if you move around, you don't get that same sound. Anyway, that's a little bit about that. You can play one line the same thing over the different notes and imply different keys and chords and stuff. This is a cool trick I talk to my students about all the time too. If you play the same thing over different chords, it's going to sound different over each chord. And so I'm just going to do this in like C major. I'm going to do E, F, G, A, and then back down on the B string to the E string. So 5, 6, 8, and then 5 on the B and E. And then just kind of go in a loop and then play the chords across the board here, C through C. So that all, you know, you could hear as I went through, the first chord, of course, sounded like a C major chord, then D minor, E minor, F major, G major, A minor, B diminished, and then back to C major. Now, if I picked a different, path and played instead of B flat, that wouldn't sound like C major anymore. It started to sound like F major or / D minor, like this. Like a sweet place to end. Anyway, that's just using that same line to start, but then playing the B flat instead of a B, and that changed the whole sound of everything and took me to a different key. A lot of these, basically once you understand the theory, a lot of things are kind of cross-compatible to a certain extent, and then when you get to that final note, that first note that makes it different, then it gets mixed up. Like the difference between C major and F major is the value of the B. It's B or B flat, right? So, and the difference between the key of C and the key of G is the F. It's either F or it's F sharp, and that changes, the sound of things a lot. So there's a lot of chords that are compatible too. In like the key of C major, you have a C major chord and a G major chord. They're both in the G major scale, but as soon as you play the D, is it a D minor? Well, you're in C major. Is it a D major? Well, you're in G major. And you just kind of have to figure those things out as you go. Anyway, I wanted to share that with you. I've got more stuff I want to do with this in the future, and maybe some little tunes and stuff and melodies and whatnot to kind of help us learn some new things. But I wanted to just share that with you. I hope you enjoyed watching. We are available 24 hours online at brgmusic.com. We're available Tuesdays, Thursdays, Fridays, and Saturdays in Perry from 2 to 7 on Tuesdays and Thursdays, 2 to 6 on Fridays, and 11 to 5 on Saturdays. You can call us at 515-329-0120. Leave a message if we don't pick up. and we'll get back to you as soon as possible. I sound like a voice recording right there. But that was what I wanted to share. Like and subscribe. I hope you enjoyed the video. Keep improvising, learn your scales, try them over droning notes. Grab whatever device does this kind of stuff nowadays, like Digitech Trios and whatnot. They all kind of help you with this and help you explore what music can be, you know, not just random noise. It becomes something organic and alive, and that can put emotion out there and make things sound really cool. You know, that's some of those things you don't just do like messing around. Like a lot of the great, here's a good point, a lot of the great you know, improvisers, and you hear these singers that scat and stuff. If they're good at it, they're hearing chords in their head, and having a backing, a way to hear chords in your head, whether it's like with something like this or just hearing them in your head, is going to help your improv skills and help you get a bigger vocabulary to draw from on the fly. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed it. We'll put more videos up and have fun later.